Hey, Frank, I'll take as many ugly wins as we can take, buddy. I was sitting there thinking about you as the game was winding down. Look, I think what this game showed is, again, the continued grit and perseverance of your Memphis Tigers, and just proud of the way they battled, finding different ways to win football games. And that's all that matters when it's all said and done. Found a way to get the victory. Versus a conference opponent, we know what type of team Temple is. And they hang their hat on being tough. But I was proud of the way our guys showed their toughness, especially in the second half. Obviously, the defense was phenomenal throughout the game. You go back and look at another turnover, right, by Xavier Collins, continues to play at an all-American level. Just been absolutely fantastic, flying all over the field. Got another great pick, right? Tyler Murray with the great pick. And then you go and you look, and then Sincere Evans with another pick. So to be able to get 3 turnovers in the second half of a game, it's everything. And we're going to have to continue to do that. Obviously, offensively, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. And I'll start in that's on me. I've got to find a better way to put us in better position. And as the head coach, I'll continue to search here in the next couple hours. I'm going right back to the office and find ways to win football games. And we're not doing what we need to and what we're capable of. The grit was there, and the belief is there. It wasn't like guys were holding their heads down at halftime. It was, okay, how do we find a way to go out and improve in the second half? And we put it together. The run game continues to be a concern. We got to be better up front as an offensive line, and those guys know it. And I'm not going to sit here and say injuries. No excuses, no explanations. As you guys well know, I take a lot of pride in all of our units, but especially that one. And so they'll be saying, what can we do? And really, you guys will ask, well, what was it? And I think truly a lack of execution. Right? First, it's always going to be on me. I've got to do a better job, make sure the play calls are correct, and we're putting the right preparation day in, day out of practice. But you go and you look, is it a drop pass here? Is it a bad throw here? Is it a miss blocked here? Is it a missed assignment here? And that stuff's just adding up. And that shows with the lack of execution when it's all said and done in a football game. And then when we're hitting on all cylinders, it says, okay, wow, we're able to do it. Credit to our kickoff team. It's something you guys know. I challenged them. I was very disappointed in our kickoff team, but I thought they showed up today. And I think that shows a lot about the character of a football team when you're able to run down there and hold the opponent within the 20-yard line. It's very important. Coach Barnes' staff continue to do things at a high level. The special teams is getting better by the week. And then offensively, you got to continue to find ways to have answers. And hopefully we can get healthy. We know what a wonderful opponent Houston is. Friday night ESPN-type game. Our fans were great once again on this beautiful Saturday a.m. into the afternoon. They were tremendous. But hopefully we can find ways to continue to get better as a football program and be able to go 1-0 next week versus Houston.
Ryan, 2 straight weeks the offense has kind of struggled. Obviously, you can attribute that to Temple, obviously having a great defense. But as you said, looking within on what to get better. What do you think the biggest concern is these last 2 weeks with why the offense has really kind of struggled to get going until late games?
Yeah, Evan, very similar. Like we were able to talk back again, and I'll go back and watch the film here in a few hours. But it truly, you look at it, and it's a lack of execution by one person on each play, right? Maybe first play, a P&10 was a bad play call. Maybe the second time was a missed block by the left guard, right? Next play was a drop pass. Then the next drive, right, an errant throw by Seth Hennigan, or maybe a misread. Maybe, again, so you just start to look at these. Maybe the tight end missed a block or an assignment. And so you look at it, and in every single play, it seems to be one guy not doing exactly what we need. And we've got to find ways to get that corrected. And I wish there's some magic answer. Hey, we're just going to – it's not necessarily practicing harder. Maybe we got to put our guys in better situations and find it, whether it's through film study, through practice habits, in order for us to go out there and have success. Because, look, I'm not oblivious to it. Our offense has to improve. We have to be more consistent. That's the word I've used the last 2 weeks. We did try to take shots down the field and make some of those, long ball throws. But we have to. The ball's got to be there. We got to be able to protect. We got to go be able to make those balls. If it's a one-on-one pass, wide receiver DB, we've got to come down with those balls. And we're going to continue to try to challenge his defenses that way. But it's a full deal. All 11 guys on the field, plus myself and the play caller. We've got to all be better.
We really came out throwing the ball a lot today, but then also Seth ended up running a lot. Was the plan going in that you thought you saw something that Seth could take advantage of? Was that more runs than you wanted out of him?
Well, look, Seth is an intelligent young man that when he sees that maybe we're not being able to hold up in protection for a minute, or maybe it is a guy being covered downfield, or maybe they had a great defensive call. We knew they had 2 great edge rushers. They were 3rd in the country in sacks, and I'm sure that number is probably going to stay pretty high with what they did today. But, Seth is smart enough that he knows if he can go out there and trust his legs. You guys know how much he's improved his athleticism, his build, and things that we're able to do. He's got full reign out there to do it. And, that's a lot for a head coach to say about a 19-year-old quarterback. Throwing the ball early was something that we felt we could take advantage. You guys know we did try to press the ball down the field, and sometimes we had success and other times we didn't. I mean, the very first play of the game, it ended up being an 8-yard completion to Javon Ivory. We actually tried to run a up route or a go route with Gabe Rogers, and it just went there. They did a nice job of covering it. And so, as we continue to progress in the game, we said, okay, can we still try to get it? Obviously, we got to hold up in protection. So, like a lot of those things, Mark, we just got to be – it's going to take all 11 guys on the field in order to continue to be able to execute at a higher level.
Coach, more specifically about your defense, what concerned you about Temple going in, and how were you able to neutralize?
So the biggest thing that was concerning about Temple is they had 3 different quarterbacks. In fact, today, at one time, not on the field, but they had multiple times they had this quarter. Mathis was in, then 11 was in, and then Warner was in. And you just sit there and say, wait, all of a sudden it was like, which quarterback? Where's he going? Is he going to line up at quarterback? Is he going to line up at wide receiver? Is he going to line up? And so, anytime you got to prepare for 3 different quarterbacks, it can create challenges because all 3 have different attributes that make them great players. And a new head coach, so you sit there and say, okay, you got a small sample size of what they do. Again, college is ever changing, right? Anybody that's watched our defense, good luck, because we're changing up what we do every single week. But our defense, first and foremost, Stan Drayton being a running backs guy, we knew they were going to try to run the football. A lot of quick game stuff by Warner had been shown on film, and they were going to take shots. They had some long receivers, and you guys see, teams are going to continue to try to pick on Savante Oliver, Greg Rubin, and Davion Ross because maybe we don't have the tallest corners in the world. But if we able to get home with some of the pressure and be able to defend some of those passes, we were able to do so. But I felt the defense played a really good 4-quarter game. I was quite proud of their efforts.
Last year, I don't think your record was 4-1 after 5 games. You weren't able to close out games. I know you don't like to compare year to year, but you're doing some of the little things better this year than you did last year. Why is this team able to close out these games this year?
Yeah, the credit's to the belief of the players. I mean, every single one of these guys, no matter what occurs in the game, what occurs at practice, I mean, the college football, as you guys will, every single week is a whole new season. And every time we have I've got the blessed opportunity to stand in front of our guys, I know they believe. And I always say this, it's, as that roster continues to go, those guys are going to continue to battle and believe. And I said it all along, and this is my 7th year at Memphis, and we don't like to compare years past. Right, last year we were up 17-0 on Temple and lost that game. I think now we're trying to sit there and say, okay, how do we find ways to win games? And we're never going to apologize for wins when it's all said and done. And it literally, guess what? Come tonight, after we watch the film with the guys a little bit tomorrow, 1,000,000% of the focus is directly on Houston. And guess what? That's going to be the most important game of the week. So these guys believe. They've bought into doing it. You look at Zay's with a shirt that says all in. I think Zay Collins is one of those guys that exemplifies what it truly means to be all in. And that's not coach speak. It's really not. And when these guys start saying the same things, that we believe in our standards and our culture, that's, I think, the biggest difference. And that didn't mean last year's team didn't believe it, right? The ball bounces funny a lot of ways, right? I mean, that's the nature of this thing. And so, we're going to continue to believe, continue to push, continue to work. But that's the one thing I told you guys before the season. I said, I don't know how talented they are. We got a lot of talent. We do. We got great players. They're fantastic. But the belief and the intelligence and the work ethic of these young men over the last is the best I've seen in 7 years.
When you've got a defense that's getting off the field like they are on 3rd down, does that give you extra confidence in making those decisions to go for it on 4th down with the offense?
Frank, I go back that 4th and 1, and if you ask me would I go for it again, yes. But the lack of execution there. But with the way our defense is playing, yes, it gives you great confidence. I got full faith in them. I flip over to the headset and say, hey, defense, we're going for it. Great, go get it. And it's no, coach, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? I take full blame at the end of the game. We had the ability to probably take the ball down with Ryan Glover and probably run it. That was a dumb play call on my part at the end with us trying to throw it. We got the sack fumble. So full blame on me. It wasn't on the players. But, yes, that we're going to continue to be more aggressive on 4th downs because of our great faith in our defense.
Did your play calling today change at all because of the situation on the offensive line? Was there an adjustment to that?
A little bit. We always go into a game and say, okay, they have 2 of the best defensive ends certainly in our conference. And anytime you go against a team that is top 5 in the country in sacks, you got to be smart. I don't care if you've got an all-pro left tackle. It's the nature of it. Over time, they're going to continue to get it. And we played some young guys, and that's, again, no problem there. That's our job, is to get those guys ready. Everybody in the country is playing young guys. But, we looked at some of our third down play calls. Hey, what's it going to allow? Some of the pocket movement stuff. And, again, it's going to having faith in our quarterback, saying, hey, what do you like? What do you feel good about? And that's one of the things you guys asked what the conversation was at halftime. Hey, Seth, what do you like? What's going to – Coach, like, this is going to help us. This is good. This is good. And the guy that studies film like he does, it's like having another coach. So it's been fantastic to have him. But yes, I think that's part of it. And hopefully we can get guys healthy. But also we got to get better. And it doesn't matter if it's a guy like Matt Dale who started, 36 plus games at offensive line. We've got to all get better and find ways. It starts with me.
Coach, you played Brian Clever a lot more today. Was that part of the plan coming in, or was that more of a preservation of Seth as the game went along?
Well, it was more, later in the game that Glove was able to go in, and we know how talented he is. We know how smart he is. That depends on the Ivy League you like, but he was a Wharton School business guy at Penn. But we know how capable he is, and we see it day in, day out practice. It's one of those things. We've had packages for him. We thought the timing was right. When we were able to quickly get a quick change, and get the offense back out there. And, man, he ran a well-executed counter play where he was able to see it. I gave him a hard time. I said, man, if you get 12 yards, might as well, or whatever it was, you got to get 14 to get in the end zone. But we've got great faith in him and trust in him. Obviously, Seth's our quarterback, but it's nice to have a guy back there that you can trust.
Hey, last week your hammer guy scored a pick 6 and interception. Your video reveal guy got his first pick. Who's going to be the hammer guy or video guy next week to have a big game?
So, the one thing, so this job, and this is not me complaining, the job as a head football coach is required a lot more with everything that's going on, from transfer portal, like, not supposed to have anything to do with NIL, but you guys know my job is not just to sit in a dark room and draw run plays anymore. And so I've kind of removed myself from the uniform, video reveal. I'm off social media. So give our great creative people, Jeff Crane, the rest of our creative department, Scott Burns, those guys are the ones that handle all that. I just sit back. I have no idea what it is. In fact, it's kind of nice not knowing what uniform we're going to wear until I get into the locker room. It saves me a lot of heartache and all that stuff. So any of that stuff, as good as it is, give them full credit. If it's bad, I'll send you guys some numbers y'all can call. But so I have no idea.
2 straight games with the interception from 1 of the 2, man. How you going to make it 3 in a row? 10 straight games?
We'll take it, yeah, and we practice that, and again, every college football team practice takeaways, but we preach it and we preach it and we preach it. If you ever come out to a practice, which you guys are, but if you ever, I'm blue in my face saying get takeaways, own the ball, because ultimately that's how you're going to win football games, and whether it's a 21-3 game or 24-3 game, whatever the heck it is, or a 2-0 game or 50-49. Owning the football and getting takeaways will ultimately lead to winning games, no matter how they look.
Ryan, after 5 games, with kind of how the team has been, you had 2 games here where you guys were these close. This last 2 games, the team's kind of taking the lead. Do you feel like there's kind of an identity being formed after 5 games, or still trying to figure out which side of this team is going to show up more?
Well, look, I like I've said all along, it doesn't matter who shows up week in, week out. We know, you talk to any of our guys on defense, they know there's going to be a game at some point. We're going to have to rely on the offense to get it done and to be able to be more successful and execute at a higher level. But it is good to have great faith in our defense and the way they've been able to do things, special teams. So the identity continues to be built. And we won't know what this team's all about until early January. And that, again, is not locker room talk. That is Evan just trying to say, okay, what are we week in and week out? A lot is what the opponent's doing to us. We've got a lot of work to do, a ton of work to do. 4-1's great, but it's not 5-0, and we haven't done anything yet at all. I have done nothing yet as a head coach. We have to get better, and I cannot wait to get back to the drawing board and find ways to continue to get better. And our identity every single week will be created. But like I said, we'll always be able to hang our hat on these guys that have grit and perseverance, and they're going to do it the right way with great standards.